Once we have it like this, we're going to go to our gradient tool. And because it's closer to us, I'm actually going to darken that a little. I'm going to darken the color. So I'm going to go look at that, and I'm going to bring it down this direction to darken it. So maybe something like this, and let's do the same for the orange. I'm going to darken it, and I'm actually going to saturate it a little more. So I'm going to put it like right here. Ooh, I didn't like that color. That's kind of gross. So maybe like that. So once you're happy with your colors, you're going to click OK. And again, we're going to drag. So I'm looking like that. And I personally, I like having them like this, where it's kind of staggering that. So I think that's pretty good. So once we're happy with that, we're going to go again, select, deselect, or Control D. And you might look at and right now I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, I don't know if there's enough like differentiation between the sky and this mountain. So I can either Control Z and it will reselect that. And I'm actually going to, I think, change the purple a little bit. Maybe bring it over here. I don't know if that's going to help it or make it worse. Ooh, I think that actually might have made it worse. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe oh, maybe I should just make that more orange. Yeah, all right, that works better. So I'm just gonna doing that a little bit so that, as you can see, the point looks a little bit better now. So I'm gonna go select, deselect. So there we go. And let's go ahead and make another mountain layer. So we're gonna go down here, creating new, make this mountain 3. All right, grab your polygonal lasso tool, and let's set our last set of mountains. So I'm gonna go right here. I kind of want to make it like this. Kind of like having that like valley there. So maybe I'll do that. Dip it down even more. And these are the mountains that are going to be the closest to us. So it's also going to be the darkest and probably the most saturated. So once you're happy with your mountain, go like this. Okay, I'm going to go over to my gradient tool, click on this, and I'm going to darken this color. I'm going to darken it like that, and then I'm going to go right here, make this orange. I'm going to darken it like this. This might be too dark, but we won't know till we try, so we might as well go ahead and bring it in. And we are darkening it. And that might be a little too dark. So I'm going to change the color a little bit. Nothing is permanent in Photoshop, so it's pretty nice. So I'm going to make that maybe a little bit lighter, see if that helps. Okay, yeah. So you can pick where you want, like, maybe I want my, ooh, I like that. Cool. So again, we're going to go select, deselect. So you should have our 3 mountains. So you can see them. We have our foreground, our like middle ground, and we have this background, which is the furthest away from us. So that's why it's lighter. All right. And what we want to do now is we're going to be transforming this, because I actually want this down here to look like a lake that's reflecting the surface. So in order to do that, what I want to do is I actually want to combine all 3 of these layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have mountain 3 selected, then I'm going to hold down shift on my keyboard. So while holding down shift, I'm clicking mountain 2 and mountain 1. So it selects all 3 of these layers. I'm then going to right click, and we have the options right here to merge layers, merge visible, and flatten image. Never flatten your image unless you are absolutely finished with your Photoshop file. It essentially squishes everything together and there is no more editing past that point. The same goes to merge visible. It's anything that has this little eyeball icon. it will merge them together. So really, I would stay away from them for the most part. The only one that we really want to use is the merge layers, where we can merge a couple of items together when we're absolutely happy with it. So this is a point that make sure you're happy with how your mountains look, because we're going to merge them, so you can't kind of unmerge them once we do this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click merge layers, so all of my mountains go together, see, like that, which is very convenient. And you might notice, I don't know, it kind of looks like it's straight right here, but it actually isn't. It's kind of crooked. So when I flip it over, it's going to have like this very strange kind of line happening here. So a really easy way to kind of get that nice sharp line is I'm going to look at my ground layer right here, and while holding control on my keyboard, if I hold it, you'll notice that the little icon on, like, instead of it being this little finger, it's finger and it has like a little box around it. So that's a selection. So if I click it while hovering over the ground, so once I click on this little picture, it actually will select this ground layer. Okay, so that's very convenient. So when this is selected, I'm going to make sure that I'm on my Mountain 3 layer. Okay, even though it's using the selection from ground, but I'm still have my Mountain 3 as the one that is selected. I'm going to go ahead and click delete or backspace, and I'll get a nice sharp line right there. Okay, so it's very nice sharp line. So that's perfect. It gives us that really, really crisp line that we want. So we're going to go and we're going to delete it. So select, deselect. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this layer. There's a ton of different ways to do this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do at least what I think is one of the easiest ways, which is if you take your Mountain 3, I have it selected right now, and you'll notice if I like move it at all, it becomes a little fist. And I'm going to drag it down to the new layer little icon right there. And I'm going to release it, so let go. And it will give me a little copy, cute little copy. You can't tell because they're stacked on top of each other. So if I turn one off and on, you know, it doesn't really look like anything's happening, but trust me, it's there. So now we have our Mountain 3 copy layer, we have our Mountain 3, we have our ground, and we have our sky. So I'm gonna make a reflection of this, okay? That's what I would like to do. I'm gonna make a reflection. So in order to do this, I wanna access my transform tools. So there's two ways, again, that you can do this. You can go to Edit, Free Transform, or you can use the hotkey Control-T. Both of them will get you in the same place. So you're going to go ahead and click that, and you'll get this little box. Very convenient. And what we're going to do is we are going to flip this. We're going to make this like an adorable little reflection. So because we're not worried about like making everything scale the same way, we just need a reflection, and a reflection, as I'm sure you have seen, kind of warps the overall image. We're going to hold down Shift on our keyboard. We're going to click the top little box while holding Shift, and we're going to drag it on down. We're going to drag it on down until you're like kind of happy with it. So I kind of like that. I think that looks pretty nice. So while I'm in this, I also kind of want to warp it a little bit. I kind of think it would look nice to have some sort of perspective on it. So it looks like this is like a kind of watery plane. All right. So if I right click, there's a perspective option. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I want to click either this box or this box. Don't click up here, but click one of these boxes down here and just click it a little and drag it, and it will kind of warp towards you because what you're doing is you're adjusting the perspective. So when you're happy with that, go ahead and click enter. All right, so now we have our beautiful little reflection happening here. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny little line that's going through here, and I don't really want to have that line. The easiest way to get rid of it is go click your move tool, top, and with arrows on your keyboard, you just can click up once and it usually goes away. You see that? So it's nice and like seamless now.